Would I be the antagonist if I skip my half-brother's wedding so I don't have to deal with my mom? This is something I'm debating, and I already got into a fight with my dad about it. So this might make me an asshole in a couple of ways, and I want opinions. This is about me, 16 male, and my parents as well as my half-brother, 26 male, and my younger siblings, 14 female and 12 female. So my dad was married before and had my half-brother. His first wife died and then he met and married my mom. My younger siblings and I were born. Growing up, we always knew my half-brother didn't think of our mom as his mom, and he never liked my mom, really. There wasn't a whole lot of tension, but he was very distant. My mom always saw him as her first kid, though. She has convinced herself that he loves her even though he has never said the words to her, and has told everyone she is not his mom or his parent. He's not close to my sisters or me either. The only time it ever became a really big deal is when he graduated from high school. The school had a photographer and he was taking pictures of the graduates and their parents. My half-brother made it very clear the photo was just going to be him and dad. My mom was so upset. She basically cried on my shoulder until dinner and vented to me because he didn't thank her in his speech during dinner. But then my mom acted like it never happened and she continued talking like she was my half-brother's mom. A year ago, my mom got her first smartphone. She was always behind in technology and had a basic phone for years, and she discovered TikTok around that time. She became obsessed, fixated on these videos of stepkids asking their stepparents to adopt them, and of weddings, where stepparents get acknowledged as the real mom-dad for the first time. She watches them on repeat and comments like those are her reality. And because of those videos, she has become certain that my half-brother is planning to ask her to do a mother-son dance during the father-daughter dance. My mom has built herself up to believe it so bad. I told my dad about it and he didn't want to hear that I think mom is going to be crushed. He told me it'll be fine because we'll be there for her. But I know by we, he means me. He even said I was so good to her at the graduation and I could do it again. I really don't want to, and I know my half-brother won't be doing a big surprise "you're my real mom and I love you" thing at his wedding. We're only invited at all because he knows dad wouldn't come if he excluded us. But he hasn't been a part of the family for real in years. He only keeps in touch with dad. I brought my concerns up to dad again, and he told me to just make sure I'm close to mom so I can take care of her if she gets upset. So I told him I'm not going if that's what I'm there for. My dad told me I have to go and to think of my family. I'm thinking I won't go, and on the morning of I will just refuse, and maybe even lock myself in my room or something, or leave the house before they can make me. But maybe that would make me an asshole. Would I be an asshole if I don't go? The only assholes here are your mother and father. Your mother needs to stop forcing a mother role on her stepson and respect his boundaries. Your father should be the one comforting your mother, not you. It's unfair for you to miss your half-brother's wedding because your mom can't handle her feelings. She needs therapy to learn to behave appropriately. My GF of 6 years says she's unwilling to compromise to leave her family. My girlfriend and I have been dating for a little over 6 years, and things have been great. We moved in a few years ago, and there have been no issues with our living condition. We've had small arguments about our relationships in the last year or two, but nothing that we couldn't talk through. We both agree that we seem to be compatible with each other, and both of our friend circles get along with each other. The issue started to creep up when my siblings and girlfriend couldn't create a bond where they felt like they were friends. In comparison, I'm very close to my girlfriend's mom and sister to where they treat me like their family. On the flip side, my family treats her as my girlfriend, not another family member. She says that she doesn't think my siblings like her, but they haven't ever said that to me or made it obvious, though maybe I'm just not aware of it. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, one of my siblings moved back relatively close to my girlfriend's family. Prior to this, whenever we visited, we'd spend it with her family. But now, I'm obligated to spend some days, nights with my sibling and niece. I had no problems with alternating stays, but my girlfriend didn't want to leave her single mother alone when we were in town. Totally understandable to me. Then we had a discussion on what the situation would be in the future with family holidays, like Christmas or Thanksgiving. My idea was we alternate which holidays we spend with each other's families, not including when both families come over to our home. But my girlfriend says she can't see herself leaving her mom alone, especially during the holidays, to be with my family, especially given the relationship she has between them. At first, I thought if we could make it work, but then I realized in the future when we have kids, we wouldn't be able to make celebrating holidays separately work as the kids would be separated as well, which we both don't want. The conversation ended there with the idea that we'd come back to it, and hopefully with a solution. So my question to the community is if there really is a solution to this, if my girlfriend isn't willing to spend some weekends, holidays away from her mother. I would hate to see our long relationship come to an end, but if this issue continues to happen yearly and cause friction in our relationship, then maybe it would be best to end it early on. I do love her and hope to make it work, but also have to consider the actual happiness we both expect to gain from the relationship. The easiest solution is inviting her mother to spend the holidays with your family. If you were to be married and start a family, most likely you would become the hosts of family activities. If extended families want to host a holiday event, it doesn't necessarily have to be on the exact date of the holidays. And if there's conflict about who gets the exact holiday, then it would just become one that you host for, and both families are welcome at. I understand your GFS concern, but the idea you can't ever spend a holiday with your family is untenable. Am I the antagonist for not bringing a gift to my sister's baby shower? Am I the asshole for not bringing a gift to my sister's baby shower? In December, I reached out to a local crochet business to make a blanket stuffed animal for my sister's baby shower, which was this past weekend in March. I have been consistently reaching out to this local business to ensure that the lovey is done on time. I work a lot, so trying to arrange pickup has been difficult. I gave the owner numerous days and times where I could pick up the week before the baby shower, but none of those times worked for the owner. We finally agreed on me picking up the stuffed animal 1 hour before my sister's baby shower starts. I arrived at the crochet store, which is 30 minutes out of my way to my sister's baby shower, and received a text message from the owner saying that it was not ready yet. Keep in mind, I ordered this in December. So I went to my sister's baby shower empty-handed because I did not have time to stop at the store and pick up another gift. My sister was furious at the fact that I did not have a gift with me. She said it was rude and disrespectful to her and the baby because I did not bring something. I tried to explain the situation to her, showing her the inspiration picture for the gift. She said she looked forward to seeing it when it's done, but was disappointed that it was not finished. She blamed me for it not being done and said it was probably an excuse because I probably forgot the shower. She told me I could have at least bought something else because it is embarrassing for her sister to come in with no gift in front of her husband's family, who are very traditional. I told her it was not my fault. She proceeded to cry, and everyone told me to stop being mean and careless to the pregnant lady. I sat through the rest of the shower and left without saying anything else to anyone. Fast forward to today, I am finally able to pick up the stuffed animal. The stuffed animal blanket looks nothing like the inspiration photos that I sent to the crochet lady. She did not even make the blankets that came along with it. I had to drop those off in January. I spent nearly $200 on this gift for my sister. $50 for the blankets and $150 for the crochet animals. I immediately went over to my sister's house and gave them to her, apologizing. She threw a fit, saying they looked nothing like how I described, and I should be ashamed that I even brought this as a present for her. She said she did not want the gift, especially because it was late and looked like shit. So, am I the asshole? If she's not normally like this, it might be a result of hormones and pressure from his family. It doesn't excuse it, but it's maybe a reason. Leave her be and let her cool off. In the meantime, though, I would unleash holy hell on that business. They had 3 months, and they turned in that? Late, to boot? Put the pics up on the review of their business. Get your money back. Those were done by someone who was either in a huge hurry and didn't care about the quality of the finished product, or someone who's not at a skill level to be selling their work yet and should know it. Both are absolutely unacceptable results for the time you gave her to work on it. Even a brand new beginner could get pretty good at doing simple stuffed animals in 3 months. I made my coworkers' favorite snacks disappear for over a year. Let me start by saying I love my job. The location, the benefits, what I do, and most of my coworkers. We're a medium-sized technology company, and our office is within walking distance from my home, and we're in my home city. I know my home city has plenty of problems, but I still love it to death as it is full of such wonderful memories for me, and I vastly prefer it over the other places I have lived around the country. During lunches, we all eat together in our office. I'm a person who has always struggled socially due to difficulties communicating, but I try to make an effort with small talk, since people tend to like me more if they've gotten accustomed to my antics. 2 of my coworkers, though, seem to rain on my parade for everything I say. They constantly criticize the city, saying it's overrun with crime. It's not. The food is bad. The attractions suck, especially if I ever mention something I like about it. No other thing I enjoy is safe from such conversation. The books I like, the food I enjoy, the movies I watch, the cartoon anime I binge, they always find a reason to criticize it, even if they brought up the topic and asked me what I liked. In their eyes, the books are bad, the food makes me snobby, the movies are garbage, the cartoons anime are immature, even when some of them are insanely popular things. One of them also will walk up whenever I'm telling a story and just loudly interrupt to ask a question to whomever I'm talking to. I'm definitely not good when it comes to interruption and am working on improving my control, but this is just to an extent that I find rude. If I did that to someone, I'd hope they call me out on it, but I'm too cowardly to do so since I'm all too aware of how many social faux pas I commit on a daily basis. The other one has expressed some political views that I find gross. They thought that if someone was stealing food from a convenience store, they should be sent to jail for years, and if someone breaks into a car, it should be okay for the police to shoot at them. I know crime, incarceration, and police brutality are controversial issues, but geez, in case anyone is wondering about cultural context, this is in America and we are all non-white men under 35, 2 of us with immigrant parents and the 3rd has a work visa. So none of this is anything I can really do much about to make it stop, at least not without causing myself to lose a lot more in the process. So I've started resorting to subtle sabotage and manipulation to get some payback at these coworkers to make myself feel better. Our office is across the street from a grocery store where we buy snacks twice a week. Whenever we do so, 3-5 of us go and get snacks for the whole office. I've noticed that these two coworkers enjoyed some snacks that no one else seemed to care about, a specific kind of jerky and a fancy cheese spread. About a year ago, whenever I was on one of these grocery runs, I'd wait until they grabbed their preferred snacks and put them in the cart. Then when no one was looking, I'd throw them back onto the shelves. I know that these two coworkers often mentally go to another dimension when I start talking, so I'll start droning about some topic that I don't care about so they'll tune me out. Then poof, the jerky and cheese are gone. If I'm not doing the grocery run, I'll wait until they get back, and the rest of us are helping put the snacks in the office fridge cabinets. Then I'll find ways to make the snacks disappear. Sometimes I'll just tuck them away and eat them before anyone else gets a chance. Sometimes I'll give them to the office on the floor below as a gift. Sometimes if I'm working late until the office cleaning people arrive, I'll give it to them while striking up a conversation. Literally anything to ensure that those two coworkers don't get their snacks. They've definitely noticed the absence, but I'm subtle enough that they haven't figured out it is me. To leave some false breadcrumbs away from myself, I've made it so that sometimes when I'm one of the people shopping for groceries, but they are not, their snacks arrive safely. Neither one thinks a person is doing it. At first, they just keep rationalizing it different ways each time. But over time, they started losing their minds a little over it and keep getting bummed that they can't enjoy their snacks. This has been going on for just over a year, with their specific snacks disappearing about 75% of the time. I know I'm a bad person for this, but it's my perfect little revenge for these coworkers who also inconvenience me in such a harmless yet hurtful way. I love the idea of the ghost mouse trick combined with swapping the M and N keys on their keyboard. It's the perfect combination of harmless pranks that will drive someone crazy. Just imagine their confusion when their mouse starts moving on its own and their keyboard is all mixed up. That's the kind of petty prank that truly brings joy. My girlfriend claims to be some type of chosen one. I am 28 years old and dating a 24-year-old female. We've been together about 6 months. She is very spiritual, she's smart, bachelor's degree, and passionate about living intentionally and honoring what it means for her to live optimally. She practices gratitude, cold and heat therapy, sauna, cold plunge, grounding to the earth, being in nature, cooking with real ingredients, and exercises regularly. She is very kind towards others and passionate about life, learning and sharing knowledge. These are all positive signs for me. Conversations are really easy. She's always present and capable of handling conflict quite well. So what's the big deal? I didn't notice a lot of this initially, and perhaps there were signs, but here it is. She claims to be the ultimate connection to the universe for healing and light. She believes that she achieved nirvana through reincarnation, but chose to come back to Earth to move the vibration of Earth higher and to stop darkness from taking over. She says she is the only person on this planet who is powerful enough to take on the emotions of all of humanity, heal their pain, to heal multiple realities and in all timelines. She believes that she has to heal portals around the globe and prevent them from being used by those who would take from them. She says she sees beings in auras. Sometimes she sees mythical animals or creatures from famous movies or other folklore. She's never spoken with them or gotten distracted when I'm around. She told me that the actions of her loved ones will directly affect her, and I've seen her making comments to her parents as well. Regarding all of this, I drew the line at this. She said the other day that she gets clogged sinuses around me because an astral projection of myself is cursing her when I sleep, or me from a past life. At this point, it feels like I'm kind of catering to her beliefs and actually encouraging a false sense of reality that is not healthy. I've listened and tried to understand as best as I can. If it's a mental thing, I've decided it's not dangerous and hurting anyone. I don't think people dealing with mental health issues should abstain from romantic relationships that bring them joy. I want her to feel safe and understood, but my scientific mind is really working and researching a lot into this. Could this be schizophrenia? Honestly, making this post feels like a betrayal, but I need to get this out here. Sounds like your ex-fiancé definitely had a messiah complex, possibly even delusions of grandeur. Believing he was a chosen apostle for God and having offspring to lead during the end times is quite extreme. It's good that you were able to recognize his mental health issues and get out of that situation before it escalated further. Am I the antagonist for not wanting to take care of someone else's kids? I, 23 years old male, have a younger brother, 13 years old male. Let's call him Rob. My parents are approaching their 25th wedding anniversary and have planned to take a trip to Europe in May. When they began planning this trip, they asked me if I would mind flying home to watch my brother for about 9 days. Currently, I am attending a university located on the opposite coast of the United States, but this trip would be right as the semester of school ended. I agreed to this because I want to spend time with my brother and the fact that I'm a habitual people pleaser. Now around 2 months after I agreed to watch my brother, I find out that it will not just be the two of us. Apparently a family of 4 is staying with my parents right now. This family, let's call them the Richardson family, is a family that met my family about a decade ago. It consists of 2 parents and 2 children around ages 4 years old male and 7 years old male. My parents, specifically my mother, became exceptionally close with them. However, I am not very close with them because I have barely seen them in the 5 years since I have graduated high school. This in itself doesn't sound too bad until I share why the Richardson family is staying with my parents. Mrs. Richardson has in the last couple years been diagnosed with cancer. The family is understandably struggling financially, healthcare in America. And Mr. Richardson works for a company that sells commercial-grade medical care to people to use in home. The Richardsons live 4 states away, about an 8-hour drive, from my parents. They are staying at my parents' place since it is much closer to quality medical care, and so Mr. Richardson can work opening a new branch of the company. My problem is that I agreed to watch my brother with the understanding that no one else could do it. Additionally, with the current state of the Richardson family, my mother is providing some much-needed childcare assistance. If I proceed as planned, there is a high likelihood that I will be taking care of 3 children and not just 1. I did not agree to that, and honestly I don't think I would be able to provide the help they need. This family has a history of overstaying their welcome and mooching off of my mother, who is also a people pleaser, for a place to stay, childcare, and other things. Would I be the asshole for either bailing on taking care of my brother Rob, or at the very least making it clear I am not there to help this family unless it is absolutely necessary? I appreciate the comments as there are some pretty solid points from all angles of this. Thankfully I have about 2 months until this trip to try and figure something out. As far as flying my brother out to me, he unfortunately will still be in school at this part of the year. I may still pitch it to see if it's time he can afford to miss. Otherwise I plan just writing up a list of what I'm willing to help with and what I'm not, and making sure that the Richardson family is aware of it. Not the antagonist. Your parents should fly your little brother out to you if possible. It could be a nice vacation for him too. Plus, you shouldn't have to look after someone else's kids, especially with such a large age gap. Don't leave any room for negotiation. Insist on either watching just your brother or nothing. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.